Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Welcome to my presentation. It is an honor for me to present my presentation. But first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Wahyu Aji Susilo. My friends usually call me Wahyu or Aji, but I prefer to be called as Wahyu. I currently study in civil engineering program study. In this time, I would like to concentrate on the dangers of being too fat. This topic is relevant for those who want to know, or even those who feel in early step of being too fat. So the purpose of the presentation is to remind the audience how dangerous being too fat is. Before I start my presentation, I want to ask you guys, what do you guys think about your weight? Are you guys in a good shape? Well, I think so. Yeah. In this presentation, I've been divided into three main parts, but I divided again into four parts. The first part is defects of overweight or being too fat. The second part is the reasons why being too fat is dangerous. And the last part is the conclusion itself. So let's jump to the facts. First of all, I want to ask you guys, uh, do you guys know what is being too fat? Okay, I'll explain to you guys. Being too fat is known as overweight or obese. It is simply defined as too much body fat inside. In our looks, obese society, many people think that being overweight is an appearance issue, but actually, being overweight can be a medical concern because it can seriously affect a person's health. The issues has grown to epidemic proportion with over 4 million cats dying each year as a result of overweight or obese. In 2017, according to the Global Burden of Disease. So yeah, the simple the simple meaning of being too fat is too much body fat inside. So how common is obesity is? On average, 1 out of every 3 adults is obese, which is about 36% of population, according to Harvard study in 2020. The age-adjusted prevalence of obesity adults from 2017 to 18 was 42.4%, according to Center for Disease Control and Prevention in 2020. By 2030, an estimated 20% of the world's population will be obese, according to National Center for Biotechnology information in 2016. About 18.5% children aged 2 to 19 are considered obese in the United States, according to Central for Disease Control and Prevention in 2019. So, how many people are obese in the world? We're not just talking about US, okay? I want to explain it first. The rate of obese in the world. So I will show you the data of obesity rate in the world, which show that on average 1 out of 3, sorry, I mean an estimated 500 million adults in the world are obese. Can you imagine 500 millions? It means it more than Indonesia's population is obese. If under if unaddressed, an estimated 1 billion adults will be obese by 2030. And then more than 25% of UK adults are obese. 44% women in Saudi Arabia are obese. After that, we are going to talk about obesity in America. I have some data, then I will show you guys, which show that 1 out every 3 adults is obese, according to Harvard in 2020. And then non-Hispanic Black women experience the highest rate of obesity in America at 59%, according to Harvard again in 2020. Obesity rates are higher for Hispanic, Mexican, American, and non-Hispanic Black population than they are for Caucasian, according to Harvard 2020. The South and the Midwest have the highest obesity prevalence, according to Center for Disease Control and Prevention in 2019. And all United States and territory have an obesity rate at least 20% all around United States, according to Center for Disease Control and Prevention in 2019. After that, I have the data obesity statistic by genders. Overall adults, obesity rates are higher for women, according to National Center for Health Statistics in 2013 till 2014. 4 out of 5 American African women are overweight or obese, according to Office of Minority Health in 2018. 3 out of 4 Latina or Hispanic women are overweight or obese. That's according to Center for Disease Control and Prevention in 2020. Obesity rates for non-Hispanic white, non-Hispanic Asian, and Hispanic women are highest for lowest income group. Oh my gosh, that's for lowest income group. That's quite surprisingly, because maybe we think that the highest income group has a higher rate of obesity, but the facts tell us that the lowest income group get highest rate of obesity, according to Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in 2020. After that, I have the data obesity statistic by age, which show that in the United States, obesity is more prevalent among adults than youth, according to National Center for Health Statistics in 2015 to 2016. Childhood obesity is rising globally with 43 million overweight and obese children under the age of 5, according to Harvard study in 2010. 1 in 6 children aged 2 to 19 are obese, according to National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey in 2013 to 2014. And then obesity is more prevalent among 6 to 19 years old than in 2 to 5 years old, according to National Center for Health Statistics in 2015 to 2019. Okay, that's just the sample of data that I have shown you guys. And why has obesity become so common? There are many reasons why obesity has become so common. People are eating more processed food and high-fat foods. They are eating larger portions. They are exercising less, and they are spending more time in front of screens, such as laptop and handphones. There are just some of the reasons for the global rise in obesity. So what percentage of Americans are obese? Nearly 40% of American adults aged 20 and over are obese. 71.6% of adults aged 20 and over are overweight, including obesity. According to National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey 2017 to 2018 and Harvard School of Public Health in 2020. What are the states with the most obese populations? These states have the highest prevalence of obesity with rates over 35%. There are Alabama, Arkansas, Iowa, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, North Dakota, and West Virginia. What are the current rates of obesity in adults? The Centers for Disease Control, CDC, estimated that about 30% of adults in US are obese. So does obesity cause other disease? Of course it is. Obesity dramatically increases the risk of developing other medical condition or disease like cancer, diabetes, coronary heart disease, sleep apnea, and high blood pressure, and stroke. Can certain diseases cause obesity? Some diseases can cause or contribute to obesity, such as Cushing disease, hypothyroidism, insulin resistance. How many people die because of obesity? Unfortunately, obesity can cause premature death, and although it is difficult to know exactly how many people die of obesity, some studies estimate that 1,300,000 die from obesity every year in United States itself. Well, okay, guys. In this point, I would like to explain you guys how to calculate our body using BMI. Okay, but first of all, do you guys know what is BMI? Do you guys know? Well, let me explain. Let me explain. BMI is a tool to estimate it and screen for overweight and obesity in adults and children. BMI is defined as a weight in kilograms divided by height in meters square. BMI is related to the amount of fat in the body. A high amount of fat can raise the risk of many health problems. A healthcare professional can determine if a person's health may be a risk because of his or her weight. Okay, as you guys can see on the screen, people can define it as underweight if their BMI is under 18.5. People can define it normal if their BMI is on 18.5 to 22.9. And at 23 to 24.9, people can get risk to become overweight. And at 25 to 29.9 is overweight, and over 30 is obese. Okay, in this point, I'm going to explain the sample of how to calculating using BMI. a woman with a height of 152 centimeters and the weight of 60 kilogram. Okay, first the height. The height is 152 centimeters. We we make into a square, which is becoming 2.31 meters square. Okay, so we change centimeter into meters. After that, we square it, and the result is 2.31 meters. And then we just uh, 60 divided into 2.31 meters. The result is 25.96. Well, the result is 25.96. The conclusion, the woman is in overweight category. Okay, after that, there are two reasons why being too fat or overweight is dangerous. The first reason, view from a medical perspective. Being overweight or obese can have a serious impact on health. Carrying extra fat leads to serious health consequences such as cardiovascular disease, mainly heart disease and stroke, uh, type 2 diabetes, and then musculoskeletal disorders like osteoarthritis, premature death, and substantially disability. What is not widely known is that the risk of health problems start when someone is only very slightly overweight, and that's the likelihood of problems increase as someone becomes more and more overweight. Many of these conditions cause long-term suffering for individuals and families. In addition, the cost for the healthcare system can be extremely high. Hmm. And the second reasons, viewed from social perspective, besides all of that, being fat also becomes the biggest major problem for women, especially young women. Yeah, of course. They opine that becoming too fat will bother their beauty appearance. They might think they will look less attractive to men, or we can say they will feel insecure with their body. So that's why nowadays many young women try to keep their body in a good shape. Not only women themselves, men also have a problem about their physical appearance. If they becoming too fat, they will feel like more they if they become too fat, they will feel less confident if they have too much body fat comparing to uh, the man with a good shape and less of body fat. And honestly, nowadays, most women love men with ideal bodies. It's not a secret anymore, isn't it? All right. After we know the facts and the reasons why being too fat is dangerous, we can prevent the obesity. Preventing obesity involves a combination of many changes, such as first, physical activity and eating healthy foods, reducing stress, limiting screening time. I mean, you can limit your phone or laptop, and avoiding processed food such as maybe KFC or McDonald's, and consuming plenty of fiber such as apple and other fruits. And last thing is having a strong support and social group. And conclusions. So more serious studies are required to see the effect of becoming too fat. But however, it is clear that being too fat is not good for your health and also for social aspect regarding to the reasons that I told above. Well, maybe that's thing that I only can say it. Uh, Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See ya.